All right, guys. Coming to you with another live. Decided to go live. Yeah, I was, and this is not necessarily just for Muslims, but in Islam, we have four schools of thought uh, that you go by, that you get your rulings from in those schools of thought. You know, um, for those of you guys that don't know, Islam encompasses like all facts of all walks of life. You know what I mean? It's just one of those things where, you know, if you really look for it, there'll be an answer for everything, with Islam. But there are situations where, you know, certain people forget that and they just throw it all out the window. But for me, I am still a follower of one of those schools of thoughts. We have we have four schools of thoughts, as I said. We have the Maliki school of thought, which was formed by Imam Malik ibn Anas, rahmatullah alayhi, may Allah have mercy on him. There's the school of Abu Hanifa, uh, Numan, rahmatullah alayhi, which is known as the Hanafi school. There's also the school of Imam Muhammad ibn Adris al Shafi, which is known as the Shafi school. And then you have the later of the schools, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, which is known as the Hanbali school. Now, for me, I fall into the Maliki school. That school was the dominant school in the part of Africa in which I'm from. It's the dominant school in also Northern Africa. You will find Hanafis more or less. You'll find those more in, I want to say, on the other side of Africa sometimes, and you'll also find them in uh, the Central Asia region. You also find them in the Indian subcontinent region, and Shafes you'll find on the east side of Africa, a lot of, and you'll also find them in those Muslim autonomous or Muslim majority Russian areas as well. A lot of Shafes there as well. So where am I going with all of this? Well, in these schools of thought, we have things that you have to follow in those schools of thought. There's, like, of course, the Quran, the Sunnah, the Ijma, so on and so on. But there's one thing that you have to follow as well, or which, if you can't find the answers in the Quran and Sunnah, and I'm not saying that this problem that exists cannot be found in the Quran and Sunnah. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. What I am saying is that this problem, in which we're dealing with, is a very, very heavy, is a very, very heavy issue. You know what I mean? I'm just gonna be honest. Like, it's a big issue in which we're going through right now. You know, um, in terms of just society in general, in terms of just the overall society. We're dealing with this. We're we're and so um what I'm saying is that the you know you ask yourself, okay, what do you do? What kind of things do you do in terms of like the things that we're going through? And so, honestly, what I will say is that honestly what I will say uh is that I have found the way to go about these situations that we find ourselves in. you know um I'm gonna be honest. So I want to read an article. It's pretty long, but it kind of goes into like what I'm alluding to. um the 11th source of Imam Malik's fiqh: customs, adat, and customary usage. So customs is a matter of which a community of people agree in the course of their daily life, and common usage is an action which is repeatedly performed by individuals and communities. When a community makes a habit of doing something, it becomes a common usage. So that custom and common usage of a community share the same underlying idea, if what is understood by them differs slightly. And I want to say that because in America, unfortunately, customs have became like, when you look at, I guess you can say, America, it as an umbrella, the customs and habits of these people are degenerate. You have the LGBT. You have the alphabet soup character who just deleted a couple of people at the school. You have the rampant hookup culture. You have all of these things being pushed: feminism, this, that, and the other. You have all of these things. So unfortunately, these are common things. These are customs. um so Maliki fiqh, like Hanafi fiqh, makes use of customs and consider it a legal principle in respect of matters about which there is no definite text. In fact, it has even deeper respect for custom than the Hanafi school, since, as we have seen, public interest and general benefit are the foundation of Maliki fiqh in coming to decisions, and there is no doubt that respect for a custom which contains no harm is one of the types of benefit. It is not valid for any faqih to leave it. Indeed, it is obligatory to adapt it. We find that Maliki's abandoned analogy when custom opposes it. Custom makes the general specific and qualifies the unqualified as far as Maliki's is concerned. So the thing is you have to look at the simple fact that this is doing a lot of harm. I mean, these customs are doing a lot of harm. So we look at what the public interest is and the general benefit is, and honestly, what modern women are doing, what simps are doing, is not like it's not really benefiting anybody except for a small minority of people. That's the thing. Like, it only benefits like very few people. It doesn't benefit a collective of people. We see the same results over and over again: single mothers, ran up women, pandering simps who try to get uh those women, because they think all that matters is looks, right? So it appears that the Shafes also take custom into consideration when there is no text. If the text dominates in its judgment because people are subject to and do it by way of familiarity and habit, nothing can prevent them from adopting it except a prohibiting text. When there is no prohibiting text, then it must be adopted. We find that Ibn Hajar stated that custom is acted on it when there is nothing in the custom contrary to a text. So the thing is about this is, we have many contradictions in the text to the customs of these people. I don't consider myself one of these people. I've always distinguished myself and rode to a different beat, to my own beat. I've never, and rightfully so, because I'm not from here. Now, if I was from here, if I had, like, for example, like, you know, if people would know that, oh, without a shadow of a doubt, with his last name, he's from here, or something like that, which I'm not going to give my government name or even my first name, then I would be like, okay, well, yeah, I'm from here, but now, I don't have to be like that because of the simple fact of those factors that I just named. Now, Al-Katurbi observed that making use of custom is a way taken from an instance where the Prophet, may Allah bless him, grant him peace, said to the wife of Abu Sufyan, take from the property of Abu Sufyan what is adequate for you and your child in a normal manner. In this hadith, custom is clearly made the basis of a legal decision. This is not the case with the Shafis. Ibn Hajar replies to this by saying that the Shafis forbid acting by customs when it opposed to a legal text, or it is suggested by it. This indicates that the Shafis occasionally adopt custom, but which the precondition that a legal text suggests. It is or does not contradict it. Therefore, we can divide custom in respect to usage of the fuqaha into the three categories. Now, I want to go back to the general benefit in the in the you know the general benefit and the public interest part. So, if you have a large demographic of males, right, and you would know that, like, the benefit of those males would be not to engage with the modern women here. You would know that the benefit of these males would be to separate themselves from the modern women here. Then you have to kind of like make that a custom. You have to turn that into a custom. It has, like, not engaging or not even trying with modern women has to become a thing. It has to become like a norm now, that you don't engage with modern women, that you starve them of attention and everything of that nature, since they have no incentives to change. Despite the damage that is being done by them, they still have no incentives to change. And the same goes with chimpanzees as well. They have no incentives to change either. So therefore, it's not really worth the effort of engaging with them. Um, so custom which is adopted by all fuqaha is the custom which is indicated by a text. It is adopted by agreement. Custom which is prohibited by unequivocally text to the lawgiver or is obligatory that it be overlooked as confirmed by a text. This type of custom is not respected and adopted by consensus. It is general corruption which must be brought to an end. Silence on it is silence about commanding the correct and the forbidding the incorrect, and being content with sin and transgression. Custom is which there is no established prohibition, nor is it suggested or indicated by the text. The Malikis and Hanafis consider it an independent principle. According to the Hanafis, general custom makes the general specific qualities, the unqualified, and customs put ahead of analogy. The Malikis say that custom specifies the general and the qualifies the unqualified, since they consider custom to be one of the categories of benefit. So the thing is about that is monk mode has to become a custom, like tuning out like everything that these women have to offer, which is not much, has to become a custom. You know, I hate to say it, but migration has to become a custom if you're looking for something that is worthwhile. I'm just being real with this analysis of custom, you know, for the simple fact that you have to really do what's in your benefit. And if there is a custom here that is not in your benefit, then why engage in it? You know, and again, we have to look at the benefit of the custom and if it is doing any benefit. And and the and the truth of the matter is that most of the customs that these modern women are engaging in aren't doing any benefit. Um Except for them, they get their thrill, like they get their thrill from yeah, they get their 5 minutes of fame, or they get their thrill from, engaging in acts which are, you know, which don't benefit like a lot of people, you know. So with that being said, a lot of these customs are harmful customs, to be honest. A lot of them are harmful. So this is why we, disengage with them. We don't pay attention to the customs. Okay, customs or customary usage plays a great role in Maliki Fiqh. It explains expressions since expressions are explained according to linguistic customs or uses rather than customs in action. Ashatibi, customs include those whose expression varies in meaning. And so the expression may change its meaning in relation to the same people, like the difference in terminology according to the usage of artisans and their crafts, which differs from the usage of the majority or in respect of the predominant usage in some ideas, so that expression which previously had a certain meaning, which might have been understood as a meaning something else, the judgment assigned to what customary in respect to its normal usage rather than an abnormal usage. This is a sense current in oaths, contracts, and divorce. Direct words. As expressions and are explained according to customs, so customs have an effect on contracts. When the custom in marriage is to pay the bride price before commutation, it is considered as long as there is no text contrary to it. Um, so, like for example, in my tribe, we have certain customs that a lot of modern women would not agree with, and a lot of modern women just say that. As a matter of fact, modern women would call this emotionally unintelligent. Um, One of our customs is emotional control, basically not to show like emotion in the sense of basically not to show discomfort, not to show sadness, not to show like those things. Um, you know, and that's a custom that is actually good for the time we're living in right now, because of the simple fact that like modern women will learn you just to hurt you. That's why I don't recommend going to therapy whatsoever. Most of the time those female therapists just want to hurt you, they do not want to help you. That's the whole situation most of the time. I would say like 99% of the time, this is what they want. So the thing is, their customs fall into two categories. First is established customs which do not differ in times or places. There are customs derived from natural and human form, and that is which human nature calls, like eating, drinking, sleep, and other things. The second category are customs vary with different people in different lands. So when we look at, for example, if I go back home to be it Guinea Bissau, Senegal, Cabo Verde, the customs there are going to be different from what they are here. And to take it a step further, tribal customs will be different, right? I hate to say it, but the customs in America are being like being lewd, being licentious, being degenerate are very much customs in America now. You know, now granted, there's still consequences for those things, but there's still customs. Like, how often do you not see like like babies born out of wedlock? You know, that is a custom amongst modern women. I would even go as far as to say that marriage is no longer a custom. There was this one video in which I came across where the woman was being a housewife doing the house chores and stuff like that. And one woman who is like, I think she's like around 50 or something years old. Her name is Tanya TKO. She falls into the same category as I want to say she falls in the same category as Chandra Monique, Cynthia G, all of those like content creators, she falls into that category. Um so like marriage is very much not no longer a custom that is being upheld. You know, that's the thing. Marriage is no longer a custom that is being upheld. Um So now, when you look at it, Al Shatibi, Rahmatullah alayh, he said, customs can change in it from good to ugly and the reverse. Like uncovering the head that varies in different regions. In Eastern lands, it is considered offensive. For those of manliness, it is ugly, but not in Western lands. So the legal judgment varies according to that. Thus, it detracts from good character in the view of people in the East, but not with the people of the West. So, like, for example, like having a high body count in like a more conservative society is something that would be looked at as despicable, right? Versus having a high body count here, and especially if you're a woman, it's actually looked at as actual liberation, right? So place to place bases will look at it different. A man can usually tell when a woman has a high body count. I can tell right off the back if a woman is lewd and licentious. I can tell. You know, it's not hard to tell. So when you see these kind of factors coming into play, right? Um, this wouldn't be this wouldn't be like welcomed in a place like Africa, right? This wouldn't be welcomed in a place like Muslim Russia, right? However, um or in let's just say Muslim Africa for the most part, and even a lot of cases sometimes Christian Africa too. You know, a lot of the time Christian Africa too, you know, they feel the same way. Now, um what I want to say is that that customs will vary in many cases, but the second category is larger than the first, right? Hold on. All right. And so, for example, a custom can change. As I said, sometimes you have to bring a new custom in. Uh, Now, a custom can change. Uh, the custom, like for example, when a custom changes, then the judgment of that custom change as well. You know. Uh, so for example, if we leave our land for another land whose customs are different from the land we were in, we only give fatwa by its custom rather than the custom of our land. So this is very important because it relates to travel and it relates to, like, for example, um, when American women, especially Black American women, travel, there's usually a habit of them trying to impose their custom on that land. And it's sad to say it, but it very much has taken precedence in parts of like the Caribbean. We know what those girls trips are about. But also we have to look at the British women as well, be it Anglo British women or be it Black British women. They have done the same thing in Africa. So, that actual liberation has, unfortunately became a custom in those lands, right? And so, with that being said, they have unfortunately been successful in imposing their in a way imposing their custom on those people because unfortunately because of our leadership a lot of the time those people are downtrodden, and so that's why they decide that, hey, this is better for me to engage in this. And you know what I mean, that's usually what happens. So um they give an example, hold on. When a couple quarrel about the receipt of the bride price after its consummation, then the statement taken is that of the husband when the basis is lack of receipt. Qadi Ismail said this was their custom in Medina, that a man did not go into his wife until she had received all of the dowry. Today, the custom is different, so the statement taken is that of the woman with the oath because of the change of customs. So, like, for example, like the custom feminism, for example. Now, I don't know how it was back in the day in America, whatever the case may be, but feminism has successfully changed the customs of men. Feminism has also successfully changed the customs of women, whereas, like, women no longer want men to be protector or providers. um they they essentially became the protector and the providers that they used to want to be, that they used to want men to be. And what has happened now is that they just want men to be ATM machines, masked in protecting and providing while being able to do anything that they see fit that they want to do, right? So the thing is this, okay? Um, the thing is this, that Allah Almighty prescribes what normal people deem proper and are accustomed to, not what they dislike and hate. So when a custom is not a vice and it is respected by a people, honoring it uh, will strengthen the bond which draws people together because it is connected to their traditions and social transaction, whereas opposition to it will destroy the cohesion and bring about disunity. So, the nuclear family was a custom in this land. That used to be the custom. Nuclear family, father, mother, children, right? But that is no longer the case. You have women and men alike trying to teach that there's 160 genders. You have these just which have become norm now. And so the thing is that uh God didn't prescribe that. They, feminists, LGBT, and the like thereof prescribe that. And unfortunately, because of the way modern women are, and because of the way like including male feminists are, they don't dislike and hate these things. Now, this applies where patterns of speech are concerned, since natural lucidity demands that expressions be understood in accordance with customary usage. It is also desirable to apply a custom where commercial contracts are concerned, as long as there is nothing unlawful in doing it. So, if there is, however, it is of course obligatory to not adhere to the custom. So, like, for example, the custom of marriage here will put you in a bad place versus the custom of marriage in another place. So this is why it's not worth actually marrying here. And unfortunately, monk mode has to become a new custom, and abstaining from modern women has to become a new custom, basically. I want to I want to edit something real quick. Just give me a moment. Just give me a second. Okay. Okay. So I'm back. So yeah, and so I want to go over a couple of videos. I'm not going to stay that long. Whoever catches the playback, you're going to catch the playback. And yeah, you know, I know I chose like a random time to go on live, but it was just, I just had to fit it into the schedule. I didn't maybe I'll return here tonight, maybe perhaps. This is going to be a short live, but yeah, I think I'll end it in a like maybe 20 more minutes or so. And maybe if I have time, I'll return tonight, inshallah. But yeah, this is why you have to like abstain from this society and make it a custom. And I'm, by the grace and mercy of Allah, inshallah, will be leaving this society in a matter of months, inshallah. But here we go. So I'm going to share my screen. So I want to go into a video. um I want to go into a video that was you know given by one of Pearl's like, I guess, former collaborators now. um that that it woke it up. It basically woke up a lot of things, like, basically, in essence, it woke up a lot of things in the video. So I'm gonna go ahead and go into it, and we're going to talk about it. But first, let's actually do this one. Let's actually do this.
Having fun. Saying, man, I Instagram have to go overboard and got my account back. I just want to say thank
So this guy is known as Charleston White. He's very much a degenerate, right? He has a shaky past. He's done certain things, and it just goes to show why you have to abstain, and why you have to really separate yourself from being among people. They're like, oh, you hate black people. Oh, Jim Crow. Oh, you, you know what I mean? Willie Lynch. They say all these things, but really you have to look out for your 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 personal welfare. Again, public interest and personal wealth in your personal well-being come before everything else, you know. But this is Charleston White, and let's see what he has to say.
thank you, Instagram, for seeing it my way finding. I'm not a guy on here spewing hate. I'm just a character acting. And do the character go overboard? Of course. But
So he even has said that he is a character acting. Now, I don't know if what he's saying is, like, true, in terms of, like, does he really believe in what he's saying? You know, does he really believe in what he's saying? I don't know for a fact, but let's continue.
thank you, Instagram, for giving mommy my shit back. Oh, thank you, Instagram. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Say, man, now Instagram, I promise I'm gonna fall off. They took my account. Yeah, hey, listen, Instagram, I promise I'm gonna follow all the rules and I'm gonna leave them. Yeah, I'm gonna leave people alone. I'm just gonna be funny. Okay, Instagram. I thank y'all for finally letting me win an appeal. Boy, I'm not bullshitting. I was starting to think y'all didn't like me. Y'all were picking on me. Yeah. I was starting to think y'all didn't like me. Y'all were picking on me. So yeah. So man, I'm just saying, man, I don't want to mean no harm to nobody. I got over 100,000 followers over here, and this account ain't even 3 months old. So I'm gonna behave. I got another account. It got 60 some thousand. I hadn't even had that 30 some days. I don't want to keep getting these accounts and starting them over Instagram. Okay. I'm just saying. But listen, can somebody tag Fresh and Fit? I don't like them niggas. I don't like Fresh and Fit. Them niggas invited me back on their podcast. Let me just say this. Them niggas some suckers.
So, that's why I don't think, like, for example, I don't think, like, the Manosphere uh uh I don't think the Manosphere has one centralized thing to speak about. You know what I mean? Like, one centralized voice. I think, for example, that everybody has a different point, and that, or different viewpoints and things like that, and it just gets like put into the Manosphere. It just gets grouped into the Manosphere. So that's why it's like, in a way it's kind of, that's why you see these kind of back and forth, and people who you would think are saying the same thing actually not saying the same, or are actually going at each other. But let's listen.
Yeah, fresh and fit, they some suckers and they some marks. They ain't got no woman that'll cook them breakfast. They ain't got no woman that'll cook them breakfast. Let me just tell you something. I think passport bros, I think the passport bros, I think those are suckers. Nigga got to go out the country to go get abroad. Nigga, you a sucker.
So again, he's uh so again, like he's grouping all of them in one category, you know, and that's the whole thing, is that when it comes to passport bros, it's an umbrella term, but it doesn't mean that they follow the same protocol. It doesn't mean that they're leaving, or we're leaving, I should say, because of the same, like, same reasons. Like, yeah, one of the reasons will be, yeah, women. But sometimes like, with me, with with me, I'm leaving because I'm just tired of this society as a whole. I'm sick of it. You know what I mean? I'm just like tired of people trying to teach that there's 160 genders, that there's 72 genders, and I'm just trying to follow it from a view that, like, when it's kind of like sinful to stay in a place like this, according to the religion. It's not all about tail.
Them ain't nothing but down low homosexual men that play footsies with each other. Man, this a bullshit ass thing right here. Okay, it's stand like that. Man, why the motherfucker don't stand like that? Yeah. So listen, I want to tell Fresh and Fit. So listen, this what these niggas said. Now they paid me. The first podcast they paid me. They invite me to come back on the second podcast, but them niggas don't want to pay me. They told me it was a gesture. So let me tell Fresh and Fit this. Nigga, fuck you, bitch ass nigga. I think the light-skinned nigga is a sucker. I think the dark-skinned nigga is a punk. Yeah, I don't think them niggas can get no kind of pussy, baby. Nah, them niggas some more. You see how they talk to women? Now, when I got on them niggas show, I put some macking down. I showed you niggas how to mac to the young bros. Did y'all notice when I was on them niggas show, them little hoes listen to everything I said? Them niggas were beating up on the bitches. Them niggas is some niggas that couldn't get no pussy in school. Now look at them. They beating up.
So I don't know if that was the case. I really don't know what their backstory is, but the thing is, on 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 another note, those women probably invite themselves on the show as well. They probably say, okay, this is the chance for me to get my name up by going to this show. You know what I mean? That's the thing. So this is why I'm like, and granted, I don't really pay attention to Fresh and Fit like that. I don't even think I'm subscribed to them. I mean, I honestly haven't sat through one episode of Fresh and Fit, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? I really haven't. But let's continue.
On the girls because they in a better position. Now, nigga, only the strong can show compassion for the weak. You niggas don't show no compassion for them young girls. And I notice y'all pick on girls just left their mamas and daddy's house. You niggas don't go get no women. You niggas don't go get no married women that got a strong man and talk to them. You niggas go get the most vulnerable young ladies out of our population. I think.
Well, the thing is, like, a lot of the times, I don't know what kind of I don't know what kind of uh space he's living in right now, but there's not too many married women who are actually living that type of life that he's speaking of. I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not really common. you know. That's the thing. What he's speaking about is not what he's speaking about is not really common, you know. That's what I'm saying. Now let's continue though with what he's saying.
Think both you fresh and fit niggas is the weakest black man talking. The Andrew Tate nigga, he a goddamn rapist.
So again, he's showing himself to be a character. He even said that he is a character. You know what I mean? He even said that. He said that he was a character. Um and we're seeing it firsthand, basically. We're seeing it firsthand.
Now, baby, Andrew Tate in jail for rape and all kind of shit. And they stay sucking his dick. They are Tate dick sucker. The fresh and fit niggas is some Tate dick sucker. Now, them niggas don't know how to handle no hoe, and they ain't never pimped on no bitch. See, I done pimped before, baby, you hear me? And I ain't never had to slap a hoe. No, I done pimped on a bitch before, and the hoe done gave me all the money, and I ain't never had to slap a bitch. And I ain't have to pimp from my hips. My conversation been a motherfucker. These sucker ass niggas, them fresh and fit, say, nigga, I wouldn't dare sit on you niggas podcast for free. You gotta pay me, nigga. I don't like you niggas like that. You niggas is some watered down Kevin Samuels. When Kevin Samuel was alive, you niggas couldn't get no attention. You niggas ain't got the pizzazz. You niggas ain't got the wherewithal. You niggas ain't got no swagger. You niggas is some rich suckers. Listen, fresh and fit, light skin, dark skin, salt and pepper. You niggas is some rich suckers. And I think every nigga hollering passport, the passport bros, I don't want to be in no group that end with bros. Nigga, I come from an era where they say pimping and hoeing is the best thing going. That bros over whole shit, yeah, you niggas play grab ass and pull your pants down. Show each other booties, playing, getting out the shower, that kind of shit. You know, the white boy kind of shit. Pop each other on the towel with the ass. Yeah, a bunch of motherfucking rich.
Now, one thing that I want to say is that, like, if you play a sport, you know, that is kind of like common play, but it doesn't mean that you're necessarily playing for the other team, as he is saying. You know, it doesn't mean that. Like, if you do something like that, it doesn't mean that you're playing for the other team. It just means that you're like pretty much just you know, you're just pretty much, I guess you can say, uh you know, doing a custom. It's like a custom. Like it's pretty much a custom that gets done. And so that's why he's saying what he's saying, is because he probably has no idea that this was something normal. That this is something normal amongst like athletes, even professional athletes too.
well-to-do passport bros all sitting in a sauna together, bashing women, sweating like a motherfucker. No females in the group, waiting to go buy pussy later on tonight. That's all passport bros doing. A bunch of weenie guys getting together, riding ATV. A bunch of guys, nigga, congregating together, nut to butt, yeah, nigga, having fun, goddamn it, and then tricking. That's all passport bros is doing. Going over to the other sea, other country, thinking them foreign women like you because you something.
Now, like the thing is that like like a natural inclination for a woman is to have a provider. That's a natural inclination. Um, but I guess you can say that what you're getting in return for providing is what separates them from the women in the United States and the westernized women in the United States. Like, so many people have asked me, like, why don't you marry an African woman here? And I've told them, well, they're under the same guise, they're under the same programming. So this is why it can't be done. You know what I mean? Like, the majority of African women in the United States follow the same thing as the regular women. They see the same outcome of it, but they still follow along, for the most part. For the most part, I'm gonna be honest. There's even one that I know. She alluded that she was looking for marriage. She was like, inshallah, I'm looking for a West African Muslim man. But then, like when I look at her profile, it said feminist. So I'm like, okay, well, you know, that's out of the question. Like I'm not gonna even engage with you. I'm just not. It's not gonna work. You know.
They only like you because they know the American dollar spin well over there. Go over there with them pesos. Go over there with a bunch of motherfucking pesos and watch how they.
Well, in Cuba, when I went there, you can't like use like American dollars. There's certain countries where you can use American dollars, but you had to change your currency. That's the thing. Like, sure, the exchange amount would be more, using American dollars than probably another currency, but still, you still had to use that currency.
They do you. Yeah, go over somewhere and try to spend that yen or that yang some motherfucking well and watch how they treat you, bitch ass nigga. I hate a passport bro hoe. I think you nigga get booty. Yeah, I think you nigga be somewhere. 4 of y'all might be somewhere playing basketball. Pass the ball, shoot. 3, nigga. 2 of y'all somewhere jacking each other off. You can't make me believe passport bros is strong niggas, baby. Them fresh and fit niggas is some real weenies. Nah, them niggas think I'm gonna come sit on a podcast for free where they beat up on girls.
Now, for the thing is, and then this goes to show you, like, again, this degenerate behavior. These women are showing themselves out to be what they are. They're showing themselves out. So how is exposing their nature beating up on them? And by no means am I like advocating for fresh and fit. I'm just saying, like, okay, you know what I mean? Like, they're showing themselves out to be what they are.
I ain't finna go nowhere. Nigga, they sit up and beat up on the bitches and now don't get no pussy afterward. You try to shame them little girls and again, y'all some pussy. That's what they be doing, baby. They don't know how to ask for no pussy. They don't know how to put their arm around no woman and talk to us and yeah, baby. You know what I'm saying? I played basketball in school. Yeah, and I was a band leader. I used to play the flute. Yeah, I played the flute in the 3rd grade, baby. I was the motherfucking tic-tac-toe king in the 6th grade. They don't know how to say no shit like that. They want, hey, I'm a male and you're a woman, and I'm submissive and you're submissive. I'm on top, because God made me first. Why do you think the woman makes less money than the man? Nigga, I want some pussy. I don't give a damn about what no woman. Man, fuck all that shit. Yeah. And fella, if now I ain't got no loyalty. No, I ain't got no loyalty to an industry nigga. I'm loyal to my people. These niggas, for one of them is a mixed breed nigga. The other one is an African nigga. They not my kind. I'm only loyal to my kind, huh?
So like that's the thing. Like and you know, unfortunately, I've experienced this too. You know, when I tell my relatives back in Africa that like a lot of Black Americans, especially the Black American women, will say, "Oh yeah, you're not one of us." They will do featureism, because I have big eyes, as you've seen in my video. My nose is pretty pointy, and my lips of course are full, have full lips. And yeah, there was this one woman, I'm not going to name her, but yeah, she used that against me. She used that against me. So and many have, so that's, and while I'm not hurt about it, or while I'm not surprised at it, um it's all good.
Baby. I'm only loyal to my kind. How do you know your kind? By their actions. My kind of niggas don't jump down on bitches and they got a bunch of money. My kind of bitches, my kind of niggas from their position will reach down and pull the sisters up. Did you see me on?
So now he's like, so what he's doing now, and again, this goes to the custom, is that in many ways the Western society rewards degenerate behavior, despite the damage of like what it does. You know what I mean? And so like he thinks for some reason he thinks that you can reform like 304s. When we see the examples of Brittany Renner, Karen Steffens, when we see the examples of Cynthia G, when we see the examples of Sandra Monique, when we see the examples of Tanya TKO, when we see these examples, there's no way to pull these demonic people up. There's just no way to do it.
On their podcast. Now, I told them niggas myself, say bitch ass niggas, I'm insulted. I told my manager, listen, tell them niggas, for one, I'm insulted. I feel disrespected. The little black motherfucker go send a manager, my manager say, well, we only paid him the first time because that's a gesture. Let me tell you hoe ass niggas something, nigga. No pussy getting ass niggas. Single ass nigga. Let me tell you bitch ass niggas something. Y'all platform ain't.
I don't know what's going on.
Ain't no.
Hold on, let me see.
Nigga, I want some pussy. I don't give a damn about. Ball, shoot. 3, nigga. 2 of y'all somewhere jacking each other off. You can't make me believe less money than the man. Nigga, I want some pussy. I don't jump down on bitches and they got a bunch of pussy. I feel disrespected. Tell you bitch ass nigga something. Y'all platform ain't.
Okay, I guess that's it. But yeah, you see the degeneracy of this man. And so, yeah, unfortunately, this is a custom. This is something that's a custom among them. So, like, what can you do? Now, I want to get into this. Just give me a minute. Okay, here we go. Now, granted, I don't subscribe to him either.
Before we even get started,
Tell them.
if you have watched 2 or more of our videos and you have not subscribed, then we have what, pal?
Beef.
What do we have?
Beef.
Exactly. So you better get doing that right now before
Tell
we
'em.
even get started. All right.
Mm-hmm.
When she interviewed avid racist and known racist Nick Fuentes. He is also an anti-Semite. What did Pearl do when she interviewed him? What she done was that she laughed with him and seems to agree with a lot of his points.
Talk about instances of like when they initially freed the slaves, there were some slaves that felt so indebted to their owners that they would travel across states to pay them back, and they actually
I don't know about that. I need the receipts on that. Like I need receipts on that. The only thing I do know is that when IAT freed itself, that France was asking for reparations back from the Haitians themselves for the insurrection that eventually led to Haitians becoming a sovereign nation. You know, that's the only thing I know about. But it wasn't forced. It wasn't like they were compelled to do that. You know, that's what I do know. That's the only thing I know, actually. So yeah.
had a really good relationship
Yeah.
with them.
Now, if she had said some of these things about the Jewish community, she would have been cancelled in a hot minute. Ask Kyrie Irving. Ask Kanye West. Now, this isn't about the Jewish community. This is
I certainly was not. I just more try to listen and see where they're coming from. In hindsight, that wasn't smart. And in hindsight, I should have had someone, you know, maybe Sarah Garvey, maybe another content creator that could have pushed back more and really was more educated on the topics that he was talking about than I was, because I certainly was not an expert in any of the stuff that he was talking about.
I kind of don't believe that because of the simple fact of her father and just like the overall, like her overall background, and also the fact of the matter that she did a Me Too on a guy. Now, you know, again, this furthermore enforces my point with why it's so important for you to disengage and be abstain from women in this society. You know, I'm not telling you to go play for the other team. I'm not telling you that. But just like these actions just go to show you, okay, well, you know, maybe this isn't going to be a good deal for me, right?
now I've been on social media for a while, and I similar to what week to week, and I was working with her based on a fee. So the tragic death of Kevin Samuels happened, and there was a vacuum within the manosphere space. Who was it going to be filled by? It was actually filled by just Pearly Things along with other content creators.
So the thing is about it is that that's unfortunately what the death of Kevin Samuels led to is the Kevin Samuels death led to like it led to basically people vying for a you know, vying for a space, you know what I mean? Like that's what unfortunately it led to, you know what I mean? And you know, being that she did consultations with Kevin Samuels and stuff like that, she felt that she basically felt that, hey, you know, this is my right? And so this is why I think we found ourselves in the situation we're in right now with just Pearly Things, you know. That's the whole situation, you know. That's what it comes down to, in my opinion. Yeah.
Now, I believe that the reason why this space was filled is because Kevin Samuels had a large following of black men. And these black men were essentially fed up with the way feminism had taken over their community, specifically their women. So when he died, there was a vacuum and a lot of black men looking for content like this. And it was filled by Pearl. And I believe that Pearl rose to fame because she herself was the opposite of what those men had been seeing. She was a white woman. She wasn't the types of women that they.
So the thing is, what happened is that it was a money play, because she knew that, okay, if I'm the only like Anglo in this space, in a majority black space, then that just goes to show you that I will get more I will get more traction. And because, like, let's be honest, let's say if she went to the Anglo manosphere space, they would be like, most likely they would look at her as like, just another just another one. But unfortunately, she kind of I guess put, I won't say a spell, but she kind of like bamboozled a lot of men. I was never one of them. I'm gonna be honest. I never really once watched the full show of just Pearly Things. I'm just gonna keep real. I watched shorts of her, but I haven't really watched the whole show.
They had been seeing. And essentially, she was regurgitating Kevin Samuels's content. So I began working with Pearl, and from the beginning, I started to think that maybe this girl has a colonial mindset. Now, we all know that we don't want to be paranoid. So I kept working with her. However, the more I worked with her is the more that I saw. She had a colonial type viewpoint when it came to black people. And I had to school her a few times on what it was like to be black and the black experience, and also what slavery and colonization was actually like.
Recordings just got better. Hey, it's Dana from StreamYard. I'm so excited to announce that local recordings are now available on StreamYard. Have you ever done a recording where your guest just had terrible internet issues? They were blurry, they were freezing, you could almost hardly hear them. Well,
Do you think that historical catastrophes must be compensated for?
No,
No.
that's stupid.
So then, I'm not agreeing or disagreeing.
Yeah.
So then, how come?
So for example, you'll find that for example, the Haitian example, like where the French view that as a catastrophe. They viewed like the fact that they viewed the fact that these people won their freedom. They viewed that as a historical catastrophe. You know what I mean? And so, unfortunately, the Haitians had to pay for that. A more recent example is the example of Afghanistan, where unfortunately, I think the West stole money from Afghanistan, I believe. Yeah, I think they stole money from their treasury. Yeah, I think it was their treasury. They took money out of their treasury, and that was their way of basically saying, okay, well, this is how you will pay for this is how you're going to pay for defeating us. That's kind of what it came down to, you know. But let's continue.
There were groups of people that got compensation then.
Okay.
For instance, like Jewish people, Chinese people, Japanese people with the bonds. Like there were groups of people who got compensated.
I don't know.
So it wasn't fair.
What? Well, I'm talking about like when I think about group, I think about reparations. So I don't. I mean, maybe if the people were still alive today, like I don't know, maybe. But like when you said his,
But the thing is, you can just see that she's an airhead. You know, like that's the main thing that you can see is that she's just like completely an airhead, right? So, like in that regards, I hate to say it, but the majority of American women are like this. You know, the majority of Anglo American women have no clue. You know what I mean? So this is why I don't think it's a better deal when like people say, "Oh, you know, I'm going to go to that side." It's not a better deal. Like I hate to say it, but like many of them are naive and just as dim-witted as Pearl is. You know, I'm going to be honest with you, you know. And this comes from like personal interaction. I mean, most of them don't even know where many places in the world are. You know, I just got to keep it a buck with you.
historical, I thought you meant like at the past,
In the
not the
past.
present.
Yeah, so like in the past, so like people talk about slavery. So in the past, you know, the Holocaust happened. In the past, you know, the Japanese, but people got compensated for it.
Yeah.
There's a book, right, called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. And when
That's a good book, by the way. That's a good book. I recommend that book. I recommend that book. It's a good book. It's a very heavy book. I recommend it to you. I recommend it to I recommend it to to many people, you know. Read that book.
when you read that book, you realize that the whole industrial revolution and stuff like that was started because of the colonization. And you just think, well, if you
Okay, and so that's another thing that needs to be said. I hate to say this, but that is like, I'm going to be honest, it is a custom of Anglo people to do things like that. When you look at the royal family, like their custom is stealing, killing, pillaging, and destroying. Because, like, even when you look at the riches of the royal family, a lot of that comes from like the African continent. You know, a lot of that comes from the Caribbean and things like that. You know, this is a custom of a people. And so I hate to say it, but it is the custom of American white people, including like Pearl, to be this dim-witted because there was never any incentive for them to be smarter. You know, that's the thing. That they were never there was never a reason for them to be smarter or more aware. You know, this is part of their custom. I hate to say it, but even in the curriculum in school, they're not going to teach you about what the book How Europe Underdeveloped Africa will teach you. They're not going to teach that. I'm going to be honest with you. They're not going to teach that at all.
didn't do that, then you wouldn't be as successful.
So what do you mean by the colonization?
So the colonization of Africa, so both the people and the resources, right? There's a direct correlation between the colonization of Africa and the Industrial Revolution.
Okay.
And so with all the metals and the rubber and all this kind of stuff coming from Africa, it fueled the Industrial Revolution of the West.
Wait, so you're saying like in Africa, when you say colonize, you're saying like did England come in and colonize?
Yeah, like so European, France, Spain.
You can't be that dumb. You know, like even like you like to be honest, I find it like really kind of like that's kind of weird to me that like how can you not know that and you're a colonizer yourself, how can you not know that these places were colonized that like you know this is kind of weird to me. I'm really baffled. You know, I really am baffled at this. Like I'm very baffled.
In Portugal,
Okay.
England.
And they like enslaved Africans, and
Yes.
that's what you're saying. Okay.
So they
Duh. Freaking duh.
they enslaved and at least colonized the continent.
Okay.
So when you colonize a continent and then you take ownership of the resources, you're able to gather those resources together and use them to your own benefit.
Right.
And so you gather those resources, use them to your own benefit, and build up your economy, all the while messing up the economy of that actual country.
Right.
So that video was filmed in 2022. And in that video, what you saw was me attempting to tell Pearl and show Pearl what colonization was like. How people went to another group of people and took their resources and took what was theirs and built their empire off of it. So when Pearl now plays like she doesn't know what colonization is, and she doesn't know what slavery is, and she says these insensitive statements, in that video, I actually attempted to give her a book. It was called How Europe Underdeveloped Africa. I've read it myself. She semi-dismissed that book. She kind of dismissed that book. And then she went on with herself to go and interview a man like Nick Fuentes. Pearl has Africans that work for her. Now, Nigeria has many issues.
Now, one thing that I have found out about Nigeria, in, alhamdulillah, by the grace and mercy of Allah, alhamdulillah, one thing that I have found out about Nigeria is that the custom which is here, which is feminism, has not really infiltrated Nigeria like that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the good news. That's the good news, is that, like, that 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 it hasn't really affected it. And from the Nigerians I've talked to, alhamdulillah, they said they're not going to let it affect it. They said they're not going to let it happen. They said that they will never let that enter their frame. So that's the good news. That's the good news about it. That's the very, very good news about this situation. I was actually surprised to hear that, by the way.
Now, the disparity in Nigeria has rich and poor people.
Now, I want to say something about Nigeria. Nigeria, Nigeria, um, um, you know, Nigeria, for example, has a place called Banana Island, I think. It's called Banana Island, and it's basically it's basically like a super rich place. Like, I'm telling you, like, you see things that you'll see. What I'll see is like in Beverly Hills. That's how it'll look. It'll look like in it'll look like houses in like Beverly Hills, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. And so with that being said, that is the problem with I want to say a lot of Africa is the disparity between really rich and really poor. Okay, that's the main issue. I will say, you know, that's the big time issue. But let's continue. Okay.
living just on the breadline. And Pearl has these types of people working for her. They edit her videos, they make her thumbnails.
So look what I have here. This is evidence to show how hard my Americans work.
No, hold on. You forgot, yeah? This is how hard my white Americans work.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
They're very hard
Americans.
workers.
Yes.
I like how they work. My white Americans.
So you do have these group of people that cap and stuff like that, and they don't realize the strength of their own. You know, they don't realize the strength of their own abilities. They don't realize the strength of their own mental capacities. So you do unfortunately have that situation. Um, you you do unfortunately have that situation where there are Africans who just, unfortunately, I don't know why, but some Africans just, I won't call it like, I won't call it being like I won't call it being like a coon. I won't call it being a coon, but what I will call it is just that they just don't have that that realization that, hey, you know, you're you're greater. You know, you're greater than what you think. So unfortunately, there are some, you know, Black Africans who fall into this category. You know, me personally, I would never work for Pearl, even if she offered me all the money in the world. I would be like, nah, I'm not working for you. You know, I know what your MO is, you know.
Really work hard. You see that?
They inspire us to work hard.
No. Do you know what? They don't even inspire. They're working hard for themselves, bro.
Okay.
You know, they're putting in a lot of work, yeah? They put in a lot of work. My white
Yes.
white
You
Americans
guys should
work hard.
Work hard.
Yeah, you could.
So Pearl has taken people on from Africa, which on the surface looks like a good thing. And I guess it is. Africans are being fed, they're taking money from her, they are feeding their family. Amazing. However, with a colonial mindset, this can be quite dangerous. And what happened during that interview with Nick Fuentes was that she used an age-old tactic that colonizers use, which was the divide and rule tactic. She pitted African Americans versus Africans when she spoke about how hard Africans work compared to how hard African Americans work. And she also used the term my Africans. Much of what Pearl says is determined by her management, which she has said to me on many occasions that she shares with Candace Owens. So when you have a colonial mindset and you have a management who tell you what to say, what generally happens in my personal point of view and what I actually saw was that she began to start paying people pittance. She began to start offering contracts to people that owned them, just like a colonial master would. Case in point, Myself and Pearl sat down to have a conversation about me signing to her contractually. And I want to make this very clear. I have never signed to the Just Pearly Things network. I have always been an independent. Pearl has known that, and I have known that. And so anytime I worked with Pearl, we had agreed a fee, and I worked for that fee. I have never been signed to the Just Pearly Things contracts. However, she has signed a few Africans, namely King Riches and Auntie Jenny. Now, I have no problem with a King Riches or an Auntie Jenny. However, if we look at the contracts that they signed, you would understand the reason why I use the term colonization and colonial. Now, myself and Pearl sat down to have a conversation, and she expressed to me that she wanted to do a new segment for her show. In that segment, she said that she would like me to present a topical news show on a day-to-day basis. So I said, okay, no problem. Talk to me. What are we talking about? And she said she would want me within her studio 4 days per week. I said, okay, from what time? She said from 10 in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening. And I said, okay, well, that is 7 hours. I said, so working 4 to 5 days a week for 7 hours is essentially a day job. I said to her, okay, so what is my guaranteed fee at the end of the month? What is the salary? And she looks at me and she says, we do not do guarantees and we do not do salaries. So I said,
Oh, the thing is, again, that this has to be like a lesson to us that, you know, it is a custom of like the Anglo to give you trinkets and be like, okay, that's what you have. Versus if you build it up yourself and build it like from the ground up, not going off the back of someone else, then you're able to establish your own terms. So like me personally, like, yeah, I would bounce too if they were like, well, nah, you can't get a salary. Then I'm like, Colossus, you know, or I would say you're giving me like 80% and you're getting 20%. You know, that's the thing. It, me personally, that's just me personally, you know, like me personally, I would say, like, yeah, you're giving me 20%, woman. You know what I mean? Like, or you're giving me 80%, woman. You're not like you're not gonna do that. You know, I'm not gonna let you do that. I'm not gonna let you finesse me, you know. That's how I feel about this. But let's continue.
so if you don't do guarantees and you don't do salaries, what is it that you actually do? And she said she does percentages. So I said, okay, cool. Well, what's the percentage? She said, Sarah, you're the high end, so you will get 70-30. So I
Oh, nah. Heck no. I would not. Yeah, that would not go down well with me. I'm telling you.
said, fine, okay, let me listen. 70% goes to me and 30% goes to you. Now she looked at me and she said, no, 70% goes to me,
Mm,
Pearl, and 30% goes to me,
mm,
Sarah Garvey.
mm,
And that's when I started scratching my head.
mm,
And I said, hang on a minute. So are you telling me that's a high-end contract for you?
mm,
And she said, yes.
mm.
And I said, so are you saying that Just Pearly Things Network has other people on low-end contracts?
Mm.
She said, yes. I said, King Riches and Auntie Jenny? She said, yes. I said, what's the low end? She said, it's 10 to 15%.
Mm.
So essentially, she could be owning 80% of the content, which is basically the monetized views on somebody's channel, and they only take home 15% of the money. She said, yes. I said, Pearl, how long are these contracts for? She said 3 years.
Oh, heck no. See, that's the thing. Like, yo, why would you even agree to be in that contract that long? Like, why would you agree to trinkets? That's what I'm saying. Like, this is horrible. Seriously. This is very bad. Well, let's continue.
So I said, let me get this straight. You want to own me for 3 years to take 70% of my ad revenue, keep me in your studio from 10 o'clock in the morning till 5 o'clock in the evening for 4 to 5 days a week, and you are not guaranteeing me any money. I said respectfully, for what reason would I work for your company? She said, because we have a great studio and we have great lighting and we have great editors that will edit your stuff down. Now, I may be a lot of things, but I'm not an idiot. I may be cool, I may be calm, I may be collected, but I'm not a fool. And essentially, the colonial mindset of Pearl has people working on her quote unquote plantation for absolute pittance. When a year ago, I suggested to her to look into exactly what colonization was, and she acted dumb.
Guys, people say that stuff about me. They say I'm sexist. They say I'm a misogynist. And, I really just like to give people the benefit of the doubt when I interview them. I don't go into interviews trying to interrogate someone. I just more try to listen and see where they're coming from. In hindsight, that wasn't smart. And in hindsight, I should have had someone, maybe Sarah Garvey, maybe another content creator that could have pushed back more and really was more educated on the topics that he was talking about than I was, because I certainly was not an expert in any of the stuff that he was talking about.
Now, I grew up in a time where there were brilliant R&B girl groups like TLC, and also brilliant R&B artists like Toni Braxton. They both sold millions and millions and millions of records, but they ended up broke. Why? Contracts.
Mm-hmm.
They were signed to contracts that did not favor them.
Mm-hmm.
And essentially, what Pearl is trying to do is come back in with the same contracts and do the exact same thing to the manosphere and do the exact same thing to the red pill community. Why? Because Kevin Samuels left a gap, and Kevin Samuels' fan base was predominantly Black men. And Pearl has come in there and attempted to be top of the food chain. I will not be a part of this game, and I will not be a part of this colony. I have always been an independent. If people in the UK who can actually say and watch all of my content can say that I've been around before Pearl even arrived in the UK, what would I look like signing my life away, essentially, 70% of all I own, to this woman who just arrived in the UK the other day? She said to me that she's actually looking to sign more talent this year. Good for her. Good for the talent. But I hope they watch this video, and I hope they realize exactly what they will be signing. And I actually hope that this video makes her think about the ways, because essentially I had been with her from the beginning and I had helped grow her channel. And if she could suggest this to me, somebody who helped her grow her channel, then you are nothing to her. I have only given you around 30% of what I know. We haven't even touched on the very odd and weird parties that Pearl likes to invite people to. And I was invited to one.
I'm gonna be honest with you. That is a custom of American. Um, that is a custom of these American women. A lot of the time is they are into these kind of like things. You'll be surprised. Like a majority of, I don't know what it is, but a majority of Anglo American women are not of sound minds. You know, I'm just gonna be real with you. Like like I hate, like I'm gonna be honest. Like for some reason they just don't really have like a sound balanced mind. I don't know what I don't know what it is. I don't know if it was something that was not like imprinted into them in the beginning of their adolescence, or what the deal is. But yeah, man, this is normal. This is kind of normal. I hate to say that this is normal behavior, you know. I really hate to say it like that, but yeah. It's like normal behavior for some reason. But let's continue.
One last year, and she told me that her manager was coming from America and they were going to have a party. And very interestingly, they said that it was going to be board games. And I said, okay, cool. I don't mind playing Monopoly. I don't mind playing Snakes and Ladders. When I got there and I asked her about the board game, she said, no, a board game. There was a whiteboard in the living room. And what she proposed was that we all have a time on the whiteboard and we do what she says and we talk about certain things which were quite sexual and we put them on the whiteboard. But you know what I saw? I always saw her manager Kobe in the corner filming everything. And we've all spoken.
So it was probably the blackmail, like blackmail them, you know what I mean? It was probably to blackmail them. So in essence, knowing that these are the customs of these people, you have to act contrary to that and develop the custom of not interacting with such people. Meaning that I recommend that, like many people will say, go ahead, get you a Becky or something like that. But I don't say that. I say stay away from American women in general as an umbrella completely, whether they be Asian, Latin America, Anglo, or Akeisha. I just say stay away from them altogether completely. That's just my recommendation, that you start that custom, you know, because they have made it a custom of using guys. They have made it a custom of putting guys through the ringer who maybe they don't find desirable, while not putting the guys through the ringer that they find desirable. So this is why I'm saying, like, altogether it's recommended that you should just like go cold turk. That's what I'm saying in essence. you know so yeah, so now this video was brought to my attention, and again it just shows again how degenerate this society is and how they have normalized the custom. Now is normal of a woman who is a single mom still demanding that they get the best of the best in their single moms. hold on, let me see. Let me see. Right here.
Oh, hey, I was just going for a drive, which is wild because up until very
Watch how fast they become a victim when they can't break your spirit anymore. I'm just saying.
He's a simp as well. Don't let it fool you. He's a chimpanzee as well. Don't let it fool you.
Sometimes the person you want isn't you want need, you want the is. 100 emoji, 100 emoji, 100 emoji.
Yeah, I love a man with the mentality that I'm not gonna chase up. I don't chase women. I don't do that. You know why? Because if somebody is chasing, that means somebody is running away.
Yeah, giveaway.
Ladies, I'm tired of this question. They are doing it. They are doing it from the time when Abraham was Abraham. They was doing it. They still do it. They just don't do it for you. He's just not doing it for you. He does not like you. Hear me again. He does not like you. That's why he's not doing it for you.
That's a W. That's E1. That's E1. That's a W.
You ready, boy?
So she has common sense. Like, that's the thing. Like, the custom is that, like, even if a woman desires you, like, you don't have to do those things that, you know, you would do if you desired her. Like, if you desire to marry her, that's just how it works in this society, you know. So with that being said, I'm gonna be honest, I wouldn't roll the red carpet out for many of these women, well, none of these women here. You know, there's nothing to roll out. But let's listen to, of course, this annoying woman who I wish someone would cancel, but it hasn't happened yet. They need to be canceled. But let's listen to Kendra G.
Cute. What's your name? Joy. Joy, where you calling me from? Chicago. Chicago. How old are you? Dang, I see people who I know join. Hey, y'all. How old am I? 27. 27. What do you do for a living? I work in commercial banking.
27.
Commercial banking. Okay, you have any children? Yes, I have one. One. How old is your child? About to be 6. 6 years old. Have you ever been married? No.
Of course not. Why are we not surprised?
No. What kind of man you looking for, boo?
So this is what I'm saying. This is the custom of women here. Like, the custom is not marry before you carry. However, if you go to a different society, be it like African society or be it conservative, like Eastern European society, you're gonna marry before you carry, regardless. Because if you carry before you marry, you're going to be looked at a certain type of way in this society. But they have normalized it so much here that uh to carry before you marry, that you're not going to be looked at in a certain type of way, you know.
Somebody with a career, somebody with less than 2 kids, between the ages of 33 to 45. Somebody who's honest, somebody who's understanding,
Someone who is way out of your league, in essence.
who likes kids, somebody who has time. I run across a lot of men who don't have time because they're so busy with their businesses and careers.
And that's kind of like what you signed up for. Like, that's what these women don't realize, is that if you have a career, or if you're running something very that produces like so much money, then you have to prepare for like that person not being available, man. Like, seriously. Like, what do you expect?
years. Yeah.
Well, didn't take too long, and we already got our first sign of delusion. No matter how busy most men get, they will make the time for a woman if they deem she's worth making time for it. So whenever you hear women speak like this, where they claim to have access to these men who are of a particular caliber, where they have the right woman is, and mainly because you're already marked with one red flag of having a child.
Was something I've dated scammers, drug dealers. It's just not worth it.
So that is another custom too. A lot of women, like especially Keisha, a custom of Keisha, no matter what they say and no matter how they come to this channel, they can't produce receipts of otherwise. That is one of their customs, is that they like to date and procreate with these type of men. I'm just and it's a majority of them who do this. Please let me know. Show me otherwise. If it's not the truth, show me otherwise. If that is not the truth, please show me otherwise. I'm asking for a consistent time where they didn't procreate with dudes that fit this category. Please show me.
Like, I need you to want something. You could, like, you gotta have a career. Like, I don't think a UPS driver is a career, because
UPS drivers make a lot of money.
I know, but it's not the like.
Go figure. Why am I not surprised? Now let's move on to talking about attacking the blue collar man and what he doesn't have to offer. And this is why I made the point earlier about her persona, how she presents herself. And I can see exactly why those men who are well off in careers are choosing to not even give her the time of day. Because if you're a woman who even is willing to entertain dating a drug dealer or a scammer, that speaks volumes about your character and about your principles, plain and simple. And for men who are smart and aware of female nature, they're going to pick up on those small things and understand that she might be fun for recreational use, but in no way are they going to look at her and see her as someone who they should take seriously.
Okay. I think I had UPS driver because I had a bad experience with somebody delivered one of my bags one day. And he was like, oh, I think he just rubbed me the wrong way. And that was just a deal breaker for me. Like, why are you all in my mix?
Someone said this. So she said, girl, my brother started with UPS as a driver and moved to a CEO.
CEO of UPS? Okay, that's good for him.
I don't think, did your brother become the CPO of I don't think he became the CEO of UPS. Bonnet Snatch Sanchez, let us know what your brother became the.
See, listen, he's talking about CEOs. I dated lawyers who own their own businesses, own restaurants, own all that. So I get the whole CEO thing, but when I mean by like career, like something that like long term, like that dude Detroit, the detective police officer, he like my type. That dude from Detroit that came on that you made a highlight.
Oh, what's his name? I know him too. He's been one of my followers for a long time. Did you reach out to him?
No, I'm sorry. I like to be noticed. I don't.
But you saw him on the show. He don't know you exist.
I know, and that's why I'm here today. Hey, dude.
Well, a girl DM'd the guy.
So you see that like the custom here is not for a woman to help another woman. It's actually to perpetuate in the same foolishness. Unfortunately, I hate to say it, but yeah, like with Kendra G, she doesn't help these women. Like I honestly would like to hear one success story of her, which of one of them being on this show. And I'm pretty sure that there are none. I'm pretty sure that there are no success stories. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure, I'm pretty sure there are no success stories. Honestly, I think it's the same thing. She does it. She does the same. The reason why she does this is the same reason why Just Pearly Things does what she does. It's for entertainer. It's for entertainment. That's it. It's just for entertainment. It's not for a benefit, you know.
On my show, and they got a whole family now, married, baby, and everything.
I know. I saw that success story. I was just telling my friend about it. Like, she really be getting people together on here.
But the moral to the story is the guy came on.
Yes, I dated, and he's still around if I wanted him. It's just with him being so busy, we just ain't on the same page. So I get what you're saying. I dated. He's still around if I wanted more. So don't get it twisted.
Why are you lying? Hold on. You know, it's just really interesting when you hear women like this, they lie to themselves and then they expect you to believe the lie. She has to tell herself this absurd, utterly ridiculous lie that, well, you know, there is this guy available that I do want and I can have him if I want, but it's just because right now he don't got time. But if I wanted him, I could have him if I wanted him. And what this really boils down to is a lack of accountability. As men, we really don't have a choice. If you aren't attracting the kind of women you want to attract, if you aren't getting the results as far as in your life that you want to get, you got to look in the mirror and say to yourself, where am I messing up at? And if I want things to be better, I got to start to make some changes, or else don't talk, just be quiet and live your life. But unfortunately, for women like this, they'll always find something.
Yeah, so you know, again, this just goes to show you like what type of time these women are really on. You know. Let's see. Okay, here's another thing too. Another custom that has been normalized with women. This has been like it has now become a normalized custom with Western women. It's not taking accountability for uh their actions. That's how accepted, you know. I'm dead serious that none of them take accountability for their actions. Hold on. Let me see. Now this demon here, um, this demon here is you know, I've reported on her a couple of times and stuff like that. Um uh and the thing is and this also comes to shout outs to Mr. Let Go. This also is Tonya TKO. Like the thing is Tonya TKO, Sandra A, Monique, um and Cynthia G, they all fit in the same category. These misandrous, evil, like these evil entities. They all fit in the same category. you know, but let's get into it.
We're done.
What about these?
Looks right.
In order to survive, because you ruined your.
My son deserves the finer things in life, like his Old Spice Gentleman's Blend Lavender and Mint Body Wash.
Is that lavender I smell?
Oh, what?
It's okay. I use this body wash too.
It's my body wash.
My name is Alfonso, and I got Botox Cosmetic for the first time. The lines that I was concerned the most about were
That so many women are making to choose the government as husband instead of a black man.
Every time I see this bull-headed bankrupt, bitter brainless bully.
So you see right off the back, like he didn't even mention her name, but because she falls into the category in which he speaks of, she had these these words. But let's continue.
Number one, there are 11 million single-parent homes inside of the United States, and 80% of those homes are led by women. Black women are the most educated group, and when you see those graduates, most of the time they're single mothers.
So let's talk about this.
So the thing is yeah, they may be the most educated group, but they're still the ones that are in debt the most. You know what I mean? Like, so this is why I'm saying, if you're, like, and what kind of education are they getting? What kind of fields are they going into? Are they going into STEM? Are they going into engineering? Are they going into interior design? Are they going into architecture? Are they going into agricultural engineering? Are they going into these fields? That's the question that needs to be asked.
First, the most misunderstood reason why black, so the other, because one, workplace,
mothers,
17% of these women 8 degrees because they came after they don't. Nobody wants as a woman, and
sitting around getting some chunk change from the government is not the best option for a single mother.
Well, in all honesty,
but you guys have taken that option. That's the thing. You guys like that option the best because it's repeating itself over and over and over again.
The single mothers don't prefer it up, but so she says environment.
Section 8 vouchers are living in poverty-stricken environments filled with crime, drugs, alcohol, and bad education.
Alcohol, drugs, and bad education.
That's something that they kind of like to do. Like, I mean, the average Keisha is not sober. Like, let's be honest. The average Keisha can't live without a Black and Mild or some Bellevue or a drink like that. Like, let's just be real with ourselves, Let's just like cut. That's a custom in itself too. I mean, it's a harmful custom, but that's a custom that they have brought upon themselves.
Sounds like a tough life. So, and so on earth, eat for? Because you're not mad.
Tired of black men trying to make it seem like majority of black women are that ignorant.
Sorry.
They are. I hate to say it, but they are. I mean, like, yeah, you can flag my channel all you want and stuff like that, but the majority of Western women are that ignorant. Like, that's just what it comes down to. The average Western woman now is not without tattoos, like covering all over her body. The average Western woman is not without high body counts, which they have made a custom, and the average Western woman is not without like just basically the inability to be a wife. Like, let's just be real. Like, I'm just being completely honest. They don't know how to be wise. They were never taught to be so.
Sorry, but just listening to everything you're saying, you are making it look like a lot of black women are ignorant, not me. Because if you just rewind everything she said, you're going to be like, oh my God, poverty-stricken environments, terrible schools, drugs and alcohol. Wouldn't that mean he out? You had a baby and you were living in a hotel?
Yeah, that she did. She had a baby. She with a married man, by the way. Like, let's just be honest. She had it with a married man. And then on top of that, she also faked her death as well. You know, like, this woman is just bad all around. She's just a bad, disgusting woman all around. And Tonya TKO is no different. I think she faked her death as well. Cynthia G may have not faked her death, but we already know what she stands for. She doesn't like anybody. Yo, Anthony Spade is funny. Yo, I'm dead. Okay, so one more and I'm gonna go. I may come on later tonight. You know, I may decide to come on later tonight, maybe. But yeah, one more and I go.
Tied to my mortgage. This is tied to my daughter's college. This is tied to me taking care of my mother. This is tied to my life because I'm in survival mode.
So what? So what? Who can't say that? Big deal. Don't write no book about that because ain't nobody gonna buy it because that ain't no story.
I had a prenup. I had a binding contract with him that he's not willing to relinquish to me.
What do you expect?
So, you know, one thing about these like boss babes and stuff like that, when you look at that Fox Soul, only one woman is married on that panel. I think they have Claudia Jordan, they have Vivica A. Fox, they have this one right here, and then I think they have Serena Johnson. Out of those women, Serena Johnson is the only one who has a ring on it. You know, back in the day, and I'm gonna say in Islamic times, yeah, marriage was normal. Like, that's the thing. That was the norm. Like, it was very easy to get married. It didn't require that much to get married. You just you were getting married back in those times. You know, that was custom. Like, and if you needed to get married, there would be someone in the vicinity that's going to help you get married. That's the thing. That was the custom. However, since we're not living in those times, you know, the Western world has made that not normal. So the only way is to return to normality is to leave the West, which inshallah, you know, I am going to do very, very soon. You know, it's just the thing that I have to do. I have to just leave here, you know. But yeah, you see how she makes herself out to be the victim, and I think she initiated the divorce.
What I expect is when I pray to be able to get some answers on how to deal with those things.
And you will when God gets ready because God does not report to you and you don't pay him. He's God. When he says wait, it just simply means wait.
Yo, shout out to the bishop for telling.
Okay.
Women's podcasts are making men physically.
I said I was going to be done, but this is now. Yeah, and I don't recommend. I personally don't recommend listening to any all women's podcasts. But let's continue.
Sick. Do you know, women have a lot of topics about relationships and dating and whatnot. So we have a lot of women on the internet sharing information back and forth. Some of it true, A lot of it absolute BS, absolute crap, nonsense. It's in the crap and nonsense, in the sharing of BS ideas and false narratives around dating that messes up a lot of men. Because a lot of men are dating some of these women, absorbing the content. Now you could say, wait a second, men that absorb your content.
Shout out to Republican, Pelican-ish, by the way. Shout outs to him.
And you know, they're experiencing something similar. And I'd be like, no, they're not. No, they're not. These videos are enlightening for men, uplifting for men. Makes men understand their power and why being a man matters so much, to keep them focused and on their square. A lot of these women are just waffling BS into a microphone.
I'm happy to tell you what I like, how I like it done, that sort of thing. So if we finish and then someone's like, oh, so did you explode? Then I will say yes or no. I just feel like that's the best way to be.
There is just nobody busier than someone who's not interested. They will find a way to not see you. Period.
Yeah, period indeed. Think of how many women will hear this and assume their partner is, cheating. Oh, he's banging another chick. He's got his in another woman. That's why he's ignoring my text messages.
It's crazy.
As men, we are busy and we're supposed to be busy as men. Unless we're lazy.
Stop it.
I would always be like, am I as hot as like the person he looked at?
Nope.
All the time. Like I would be in the middle of sex and I'd be like, oh, this is bad. I would think though, I would be like, is he thinking of me right now? Or like, is there a chance that he's imagining like another girl? And it used to just make me want to cry.
Yeah, he probably is imagining that corn chick. You're just a vessel woman. Yeah, just a vessel for a man to get his knob off in.
Disgusting.
I'm joking. I'm joking. But come on. Look, here we have, as you can see, insecurity. Her energies, her insecure energies. Insecurity coming from what? A podcast. Now, this is a podcast host talking of obviously seeing her man watching porn and then wondering if she can match up to a porn star, probably a fine one. Can she match up? No, she can't. No, she can't. But you know what she is? She's there. Yeah, she's there. She ain't got skills. I don't know. I'm just speculating, but she's there. And this is what I mean about these women's podcasts. They'll make other women out there feel insecure about their bodies because, these women know their men are probably, watching porn. I'm not saying it's good, but these women will take upon a level of insecurity that could ruin your relationship because she feels like she's not sexy enough. Her boobs and her back are off key. Bruh. Her symmetry is just out of whack. Yeah? Yeah. There's nothing worse than trying to get some from a woman when she feels insecure. Yeah, that's horrible, man. It's horrible. Might as well jump off.
My biggest secret that I had to keep was that a friend of mine's husband-to-be sent me a bunch of texts after getting my number out her phone, declaring his undying love for me and that he'd felt this way for months.
Oh my God, it's like real life Love Actually.
What he wrote in the text was some of the nicest things anyone has ever said to me.
Oh.
Although...
Yeah, passionate. Oh, yeah, she felt that.
Oh.
Oh, she felt that, didn't she?
Oh.
Now, here we have women ratting on a man who, he could have a crap wife at home. His wife could be bad, overbearing, just a heavy, battle axe, war hammer of a woman. Yeah? And this other woman, she could be lovely and warming and welcoming and soft and lovely. It may not be a case of a man cheating. It could be a case of a man for the first time seeing what a woman really is. I'm just saying. It doesn't mean he's cheating, and it doesn't mean I'm capping.
Suck it. Obviously highly inappropriate. He's loved me from afar for months and has never known what to do about it. That is Love Actually.
That is literally Love Actually.
No one cares.
I wouldn't know. I don't waste my time watching that crap. Please, Love Actually, please.
Proper bullshit.
Hasn't got any robots or zombies in there. I don't care.
Mentioned that this was 2 days before his wedding to my friend, which I was a bridesmaid at. Oh my God. I had to stand there as they exchanged vows, as they asked if anyone objected. My insides were screaming, but I just couldn't say anything.
Spilling too much tea. Potentially ruining a man's marriage because he probably doesn't want to marry the chick because she's probably crap. But come on, we understand women do this and spill tea and talk on the internet. But it's when the tea spills onto a man, an innocent man, who's just tired of his boring wife. That's so horrible.
Especially after they let everyone know that they're pregnant at the wedding.
Okay. All right. I didn't know she was pregnant. Now, I'm not saying I take back everything I said. I'm just saying that I didn't know she was pregnant. So, yeah, I don't know.
I don't rate a woman saying, I want to go get loads of
this summer, and I don't rate a man saying, "Oh, I'm gonna get loads of pussy this summer." I don't rate both sexes doing that. Yeah, it's not cool. But the problem is, the male gender has been doing that and is going to do that, and that's I've never rated. They're glamorized for that. So the reason why women,
So you see how immediately, you see how immediately, you see immediately how it came back on the male. She didn't even have to finish for it to come back on the male.
are behaving like that is because of the men.
Bullshit.
Acting all like, fuck being that good girl, fuck being that innocent little wifey, that's not working. Fuck it. I might as well just be a hoe. Do you know what I mean? They're hoes. They like the hoes. So fuck it, let me be one. That's what's happening. Yeah, I just think it's our generation is so bad. And I'm scared to bring a child into this, yeah, me too, world right now.
Okay, what's my stage name? Big what? What other word it? Big what? Why it's honestly big?
Now this one is just dumb and stupid.
Have you ever cheated before? Not with another human. What do you mean? I cheated on my boyfriend with his dog. What? I
Oh my
cheated on
God.
my boyfriend with his dog.
I hate to say this too, among Anglos, like I hate to say this, but among Anglos, which one call it, relationships are kind of commonplace. I hate to say that, like I hate to say that consensual, well, not consensual, but relationships among animals is kind of commonplace among like these women. I'm just gonna be real, you know.
You really do that?
I ain't did nothing. What does she mean? What does she mean? Be a happy dog, but what does she mean? Did she take the dog or did she really sleep with the dog? Oh, I can't find the original. I've been trying to find the original and I can't. Or did you literally take his dog? Like, Jesus Christ, easy. That's, you do wonder why a lot of women love dogs, don't you? You think yeah.
That's just gross.
I'm not gonna say obviously, but you know, we're joking obviously, ha ha. Ha ha. Oh. Yeah, but I think some of these women aren't laughing with their dogs. I'm just saying, I'm not saying anything, I'm just saying, but it's a random clip.
One of the things of what I got kind of sick of, why I quit as well in the business and retired, is because I got very pigeonholed in the MILF role, like the stepmom role. Yeah.
Interesting.
And I don't mind like being a MILF, but because I only shoot girl for other companies, like I was always booked with young girls. And just once you start to get older, like I had nothing in common with them. Like
Okay, let's stop her there. Now this isn't one of the podcasts.
Yeah, I hate to say it, but that is now a custom too. A normalized custom is OnlyFans and pornography. I hate to say it, but it's normal. It's normal in this society. I hate to say it, but it is very, very much a normal thing.
Men physically sick. It's more like, okay, what do you mean? I got you're all right. So you're a stepmom. You play the role of stepmoms, and yeah, interesting. But you can't relate to these young women. So from a man's perspective, it's a sort of you can kind of understand because some young women are just, you can't really relate to them because it's like, woman, you haven't even lived long enough. Yeah, you look good, we can have some fun, but that's it. There's nothing else going on. But as a woman in the field, in the industry, the corn industry, she feels the same thing. I mean, she's doing these young women, but I mean, she can't relate to them. Interesting. Oh, interesting.
I'd sit on set with them and like we had nothing to talk about.
I mean, you're not there to talk. You're not there to talk, are you? Yeah, you're there to get messy.
And I just kind of felt a little creeped out. Like I remember you saying, and it was the same model that I had worked with that made you feel the same way. But you had said that you would feel old when girls were in the business the year that you graduated high school.
Yeah.
The same girl who you first worked with like that, I worked with. And when we were on set before we started shooting our scene, she told me she was still in high school. Even though she was 18, she was still in high school.
Damn, that's weird. That's weird. And think of this grown woman, how awkward she must feel. Oh, but some don't care. Some are just. Oh, right, carry on. What else?
And I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And so I just didn't want to have to shoot like all that stuff anymore.
Oh, that's why you stopped. Okay, well, okay.
You're a monster.
She was probably good at her job. I wouldn't know. She was probably good at her job.
Basically,
Yes.
the way to manifest something really quick,
Yeah.
when you orgasm, you envision your manifestations.
Oh my God, here we go. Back to demons with microphones. Not really. Not really. The young women, they're not demons, obviously. I'm joking. They're talking about sex magic, manifesting things during climax. Some would say it's not real. Some would say it is. I'd say, yeah. What do you think?
I mean, I love that. But how do you remember to do that in that moment?
Especially with girls, like we have to be so like switched
You have to
on
be
in the
thinking about
moment if you even want to get close.
To be in the right mindset.
You cannot be thinking about one thing other than making love. So I don't really know, but the second
So when you see this is the custom of Western women, why engage? Like Western women will come on my platforms and say, oh, there's still good women out there, or oh, you're not looking in the right place. They'll say all of these things. But the thing is, there is no right place and there are none. Okay? If there was a right place, then men will be flocking to it in drones. But there simply isn't any. As long as there's a cell phone, as long as there's a camera, there's not going to be what they say that there is.
you feel like, it's all about to happen for you, you really just have to switch on and be like, oh.
Think about what you want, yeah.
Okay, all right. Okay. Let me stop these young women here. Think about this. If you're a man that doesn't know about this and, you're just enjoying your woman and you're doing her well, like, yeah, woman, take this D. Oh.
Yeah.
Seriously. And you may notice that she's just acting weird all of a sudden. Weird. Why is she acting weird? She's manifesting. You're making love to your woman, yeah, giving her that rough, good love, yet she's manifesting. She's not even thinking about the moment. Now, as a man, some men, they'd feel insecure in that moment, that their woman's not in the moment with them. Some men wouldn't care. They'd be like, yeah, woman, manifest me up a better woman.
It's not about pleasure. It's about business.
Wow.
He's like saying something sweet. You're like, literally, shut up. Shut the fuck up. I'm thinking
Exactly my point. Exactly. How rude. That's such a turn.
about my G-Wagon. Shut up.
Now, yeah, some women have good points with their microphones, but however, as we know as men, a lot of women are talking crap on their microphone.
Yeah, that's it. And that's all they do. But anyhow, I may be back later, maybe later on tonight. But anyhow, whoever stopped by, thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. And we'll be back with another one soon. SYSMB, save yourself, Muslim brother. Insha'Allah.